Hello, everyone. I'm Allison, and welcome to my weekly Meltdowns coverage of Survivor Ghost Island Episode 7 After Show Rant. I'm going to start out with my disclaimer. If you do not have a sense of humor, you cannot laugh at yourself, and you are easily offended by dick jokes. Top right, X. Thank you very much for the view. Okay, where do we begin? First of all, we've got comedian Clifford Myers back again with us. And Nate, how do you pronounce your last name?
Rosansky.
Okay, because I had that all kinds of wrong. Nate Rosansky. Okay, is when he is a Survivor know-it-all. And of course, as always, Deborah G. Tyler is not with us tonight. He's getting drunk at a Lorde concert. And let me tell you something. I've got some incriminating texts I'm going to say for a later date, okay?
Yes, he's a drunk. He's being a drunk little whore.
He is. He's being a little ho-ho. We got that. All right, so I'm going to try to do this in 2 minutes. And then, like I said earlier, we're going to get balls deep all in this because Allison's full of dick jokes tonight.
Did you get some or something?
Oh, no. It has to do with Bradley. But anyway, here we go.
That's a good reason why.
So in 2 minutes, I'm going to try to do this real quick. We start out with Malau. Whatever. Michael finds a fucking idol. Okay, and Angela's on to him. Ooh, but nothing comes of that. The reward challenge, they got to spell reward backwards. I would have fucked that up from the beginning because I can't spell shit backwards. So Nativity or Nevi, what the fuck ever wins. Navidi wins first. You now wins second. And they send Kellen. Well, they get a steak. Navidi gets a steak and a grill, which they gave the steak 0 screen time tonight, which that is another rant. And then you now got grilled chicken kebabs. Kellen, finally, Ghost Island made an appearance in its namesake show, came back tonight. Kellen went to Ghost Island, and she found the authentic steal a vote from Game Changers, which is not really a steal. It is an extra vote. We'll dive into that confusion later. Like I said, Nativity didn't get any steak. Steak didn't get any time tonight. Bradley went on a tangent about being, he didn't want to be a total dick outside of the normal dick that he is. He was hangry. He was yelling at Donathan. He was yelling at Dominic about the fire, snapping his little dick fingers all over the place. We went to You Now, and, we spent 2 seconds on the chicken kebabs, which got more screen time than the steaks. Chris loves to eat. Wow. Shocker.
You got more screen time than Chelsea, too.
Wendell's girlfriend got more screen time than the steaks did tonight. Wendell found a clue with a map that led him to the huge ass, and I have that written really big, huge ass immunity necklace. And I'm just trying to figure out where the fuck is he going to hide that from everyone.
I wrote, it's a huge fucking necklace in my notes.
Malau has a come to Jesus therapy session where they all realize they're a bunch of hungry losers and they burn their flag. You know what? Burning shit always makes me feel better. The immunity challenge, I'm burning my career right now. The immunity challenge was some kind of crazy shit that went down the water. I'm not even going to try to explain. Yunalia came in first. Malau second. Navidi goes to tribal council and votes out the total dick, Bradley. But Bradley wants to vote out Libby because you can't trust a blonde, and you saw what she did last time, but that's so freaking long ago. I can't remember. And Dom and Chelsea are like, Dom and Chelsea tell Libby that she's safe, which is a fucking lie. It was a lie at the time. It turned out not to be a lie. Anyway, so we get to tribal council. I know it's been over 2 minutes. Bradley goes on and on about how he hates dicks. He is not a huge dick. He's not a total dick. He just can't stand dicks in general. And, you know, he loves to go on and give his counterpoints about shit that he doesn't know anything fucking about. Why is this not a shocker? At all.
Oh my God.
So basically, I'm going to end it with this, and then you guys can have a field day. Bradley is gone. The dick officially went limp. There you go.
I was laughing that entire tribal because like Dom was giving Bradley so many hints to just shut up.
Yes, shut up.
And it was like Bradley just wouldn't hear it. He was just like, no, I'm just gonna keep talking. Oh, Chelsea wants to talk for the first time in like forever. No, I'm gonna talk instead. She doesn't need to talk. Like, oh man.
Is this the most we've heard the word dick in a Survivor episode?
Yeah, I think they usually bleep it out.
Yeah.
I think so.
So
We have someone here for you, Allison.
Who's in here with us?
Hello, it's McCrae. How's it going,
Oh
everybody?
my God!
Hey, dude.
How's it going? Hola, amigos.
What
and
the hell? It's
amigas.
like, who is this? Did I give the link to Hangout all over Facebook?
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I don't want to interrupt this conversation at all. You guys just keep on going. I'll try to jump in when I can.
You can just vape in the background.
That's exactly what I'm going to
Literally.
do. Yeah,
Hi, Mickey.
absolutely. How's it going, Deb?
Fabulous.
Yeah, it was a good show tonight. I thought, I don't know, Survivor was fun. I liked it. Yeah, you didn't see. I'm glad that one tribe isn't just getting decimated, even though they have been essentially decimated. It was nice to see them win, and like, what a morale boost for all of them. That's a huge. I mean, it's got to just be demoralizing every time you lose. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I got.
Well,
Yeah.
the two times that Malolo got like, got one up on the VD, Libby was a part of both tribals, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. Yeah, because when Libby's not there, they just get fucked up.
Yeah.
Legit.
I forgot Libby was on the show until tonight. I honestly I was like, oh, that the blonde. Okay, she did something like 7 episodes ago. Okay,
she doesn't deserve the attention she's getting for Morgan's blind side. That was entirely James. Like, first off, like,
Yeah, for sure.
like, and now like it's like, oh, she's so dangerous. Like, oh, she's Parvati. Like 2.0. I'm like, yeah, she is Parvati. She gets no screen time and then is getting attributed to things she doesn't deserve. So like,
it's
yes.
like she's Bradley. She's like, maybe that's why Bradley was so threatened by her. She's like the female version of him. Could that be true? I don't know. I'm so glad he's gone. I mean, he was good TV, though. I'm going to miss him just being right about everything. Just bitching and barking orders and snapping his little dick fingers at everybody.
His little dick fingers.
To Bradley's credit, he is the villain that we have needed for a while in Survivor.
Yeah, they needed to leave him
Yeah.
in for a little longer. Seriously.
We have not had a good villain that people just love to hate on Survivor since like, I don't know, like Kagayan maybe. Like I think like with Tony winning, I think is the only person that we've like really had a good villain for since.
Well, the fact that he interrupted Jeff Probst, the host of the show, during tribal council to finish talking,
Never a
shit
good move.
about
And
Never
prevented
a good move.
the best player of the season, Chelsea, from actually saying something for once. Like,
I have 2 Chelsea updates. Do y'all want them? Because I know we're
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Chelsea update number 1. She announced to everyone that Ghost Island is a mystery. Chelsea update number 2. What is it? Oh, she sat out the challenge. Like that mattered. You know,
Stellar gameplay.
Yeah.
her eye twitched when Bradley started talking.
did her eye twitch or her eyebrow?
Whatever.
Is it one
It's
brow
like-
now? Has he transformed to one brow?
See, here's the thing. It's either she's sitting out or the eyebrows are sitting out. You have to kind of pick because they are their own player now. They are like, I'm there. I don't want Chelsea gone until she explains to me how those fucking things aren't coming off her face.
For the record, I don't understand why they chose Kellen over Chris to be sent to Ghost Island. Like,
because they wanted him to have the reward, I think.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think that they wanted to, like, I think they trust Kellen more, and I kind of get that aspect of it, but like they could have guaranteed like Chris not getting food, and that would have weakened their tribe for the next challenge. And I think
thought they were going to do that.
Yeah, I really thought they were going to send Chris, and I thought that was just I felt like that was an error. So
I thought that was the point of Kellen, was to get, because they were on a losing streak anyways, might as well just make them weaker and keep it going. That was what I thought the mentality was.
But I mean, like, make two tribes weak regardless. Like, they weren't getting food, and then so like take out their strongest player on the other tribe so that they might be able to weaken them a little bit and give them the best chance. So, because they lost, so clearly I think they made the wrong decision.
They sent Kellen to Ghost Island after Chelsea announced that it's a mystery, that they wanted to keep it a mystery. So they sent someone there, I guess, who'd already been there, but that's kind of a double, because it still keeps it a mystery to everyone else who hasn't been there, but she also knows what's there, and without them not being there, they don't know what she's really doing. So
unless Donathan spilled exactly kind of what Ghost Island's like.
Donathan's not spilling anything.
And when she came back, she looked all sad and, like she didn't win. And so,
although I think that's just her normal state of being. So,
it's kind of mopey.
I love how Donathan was so excited about winning the challenge that he kept talking about the tribe as it were just him. I did so good. I'm so proud of myself.
I love Donathan.
We won, but I'm so proud of myself. Like, I mean, he just kept going on and on about me, myself, And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, you're making us Southern people sound like idiots. I don't need any help.
Donathan was one of my top 3 players for the night, and just for me.
He's always entertaining. He's always entertaining. I mean, like, the dude, he always has a great soundbite. Like, the dude makes amazing TV. Whether you think, like, oh, he makes Southern people look bad. I cannot stop. Like, every time he talks, I just want to do a Southern accent so bad. I want to just duplicate it and mimic it. I love it. Like, that dude is such a good guy. I've talked to him in real life, and he's just a phenomenal person, and that's, like, first and foremost, give him credit for being a really stand-up guy. But I think he's actually he's added a lot to this season, just because I think he's funny, he's relatable. Donathan's just the man. I can't say enough about him. He's great.
You know what I said? I said that he sounds like Kate McKinnon doing Jeff Sessions on Saturday Night Live.
That's pretty great.
I just love how excited he got about the cinnamon rolls 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was losing his shit over cinnamon rolls. And I'm like, I'm from the South. I'm all about some Cinnabon. Yes, give me the cinnamon rolls. Forget the coffee. Fuck everything else. Give me the cinnamon rolls. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I don't even think he's a bad player. I see a lot of people like making fun of him on Twitter, but I think he's really good socially, and he's able to state his ground. He's able to state like clearly what they should do and why. Like, I think he's actually a really solid player.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say. I mean, I was gonna say that. No, I agree absolutely, and like. Yeah. I mean, he's obviously a huge fan of Survivor. He watches Big Brother, and like, this is obviously not the Big Brother podcast, but like, if you can take elements from Big Brother, strategic elements, it's like, and you can like translate that over to Survivor, that just adds another layer to your game. And I think like, people should give him more credit because he's obviously thinking about the game.
Because. Yeah. So I was just gonna say, like, because like Bradley's saying he's on vacation, and I'm like, nah, he's not on vacation. He's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I think that's like, it's awesome that he's got that Southern accent, because I think it's making him kind of downplayed in everyone else's eyes. Right? Like, they're just kind of thinking, oh, he's just a Southern guy with a lot of heart, but he's actually got brains too, and he's playing the game. So, sorry, man.
people completely underestimate how important social game is in like games like this. And like this is why so many people who win Survivor are under the radar players. You don't see people winning Survivor, and Big Brother especially recently, who make these big grandiose moves constantly all the time. You don't see Tony's winning it all the time. You don't see Vanessa's winning it all the time. You see people like for example, Michelle winning the game because people like them. And Donathan is doing a great job of just connecting with people. And it's so essential to do something so basic, and people forget that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think that's what Bradley forgot, right? Like, they just voted him out because he's a dick. Like, they had the numbers. Like, all he had to do was be cool. He'd probably still be in the game.
Yeah.
Very true.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a total dick.
Just as easy as that, yeah.
Yeah, he was walking down the ramp, and he was like, man, wow, damn it. I mean, that was like the most time they've ever spent on someone walking off after the ride was doing. And it was so quiet. I'm like, I kept thinking, this guy gonna turn around and run back up the ramp and do something? I mean, what is going on here? But no, it was just him mumbling.
But he was acting like his blindside was the biggest blindside ever. I'm like, that was so clear. He's such a dildo.
And the thing is, he has no idea of how big of a dick he is. He has no clue.
Big fake dick.
Like when he was talking about being a devil's advocate, and the whole tribe was just like quiet and staring at him. He had no fucking clue. That was so great.
That was the best ever. He's just like, I'll give my counterpoints, and just like, oh, you want to give your counterpoints on the situation you weren't even present? He's like, yeah, I don't mind. It's shut up.
Now I realize I'm gonna miss Bradley. I actually enjoyed
it. That's what I was gonna say. Is like, well, what happens? Like, you need a character that you love to hate, and
we still have Chris.
Okay. That's exactly that's what I wanted.
He's a good substitute. He's still pissing people off.
Absolutely.
We got the Chris and Dom face off.
Yeah.
Next week because they're merging. Spoiler.
Chris is gonna lose.
Yeah. Oh, you think?
For sure.
Yeah.
Dom has 2 idols.
Practically. Yeah.
Oh,
and if he's gonna choose one, he's gonna use the legacy advantage next if he really feels like he's gonna go. So
yeah,
that would be the smart thing to do. That would be the smart thing to do. Although Dom hasn't been the smartest all season.
He said tonight, we're unstoppable. 20 minutes later, they're at tribal council.
Actually, he said he hasn't been smart all season, but the fact that they didn't even consider voting him out tonight is proof positive that he is playing a smart game.
Yep, absolutely.
I think he's less dumb than Bradley. I think that's because now, like, I think like what's really good for Dom is that James is not in the game. I think that was the best possible thing for Dom to happen for Dom, because James was the only one that was keyed in to what Dom was doing. Yeah. So, other than Chris, but like nobody like. So.
Yeah, he has a lot more room to walk. But like, if you think about it, like every single episode has featured Dom in some way. Like this whole season, like he's been pretty much a star player in the show. I do think like you have to give this dude credit for, getting as far as he has at this point, because he'd be my first like, this guy's a shade ball. Get him the fuck out of here. So him getting this far with that much like target on him, it is very impressive. I would just want him out, and the fact that no one's like really trying to shoot for him, it should say a little something about him.
He's kind of confusing me because they kind of give him like the Tony Russell Hantz kind of vibe, but he's not playing like that, right? He's playing more like earnestly, a little bit, like he's a little snaky, but he's a little like kind of dumb. I don't know how to take this guy yet. He's a little new to me.
The first person that I can really relate him to, and this is kind of a callback, is Dreams from Survivor Fiji.
Okay.
Like I think he had but almost like the flip side, whereas Dreams had like a really good start and just finished horribly. Like Dom, I think like had a really rough start, but has like recovered very well. So I think also Dom has benefited largely from immunity wins as well, because he didn't have to deal with Chris coming after him for tribals.
Yeah, if he was in Michael's position, I don't know if he'd still be around.
Yeah.
Right? If he had to go through so many tribals.
I love in the preview for next week. You have they merge, and you have Chris going, "Ugh, Dom is such a loser," and then you have Dom going, "Ugh, Chris is such an idiot."
Now, if they were smart, they would friggin' work together.
True.
Secretly.
Yeah, I've always felt like you could leverage rivalries. Like anything that's public knowledge, you can leverage for your own advantage, right?
But it's also go on, sorry.
No, maybe it's more prevalent for a game like Big Brother because you're there much longer, so you can use, public mentality to be a little different. But I just find just to feed into their hands, you're giving every other player exactly what they want, which is Chris or Don to go next round.
Exactly.
Right. So they might as well try to pull fast.
And that's the thing is you're 100% right. And it takes a person, it takes like a certain kind of person to be the bigger person, to be like, we have our differences, but now's the time to set that aside and work together. But the problem is that I'm a person that just hates someone. When I hate someone, I hate them. And it's I can't look them in the eyes. It just becomes tough, So it's if you're that kind of person that can kind of put that stuff behind you, you can absolutely try to make it with that person. But I mean, these games, you get to fucking hating people, and you really get to hating people, and it becomes tough to accept them as a person because your entire day becomes consumed with getting them out. I think that is a good strategy, but it's also very, very tough.
Yeah, two different players in the same position, I think, could pull it off if it was a James and a Michael or something. But I just think Chris and Dom, their egos are so inflated that they're going to be guided more by that than their actual brains.
Exactly.
To Dom's credit, I think he's more willing to bury the hatchet than Chris is. Chris is just so prideful that he just doesn't care. Dom, we've seen him, he did show, Chris the fake idol to maybe try to garner trust, which I thought was just stupid to begin with. Yeah. But regardless, I think Dom is still more willing to just play with whoever will have him. And he was willing to extend that to Chris, and Chris just isn't having it. So I think it's more Chris. Chris does not, no.
He does not, okay.
And Dom has 2 idols, right?
Basically.
Right.
So I really think Chris is going next week. I mean, I think that he's going to Dom. Look, we've already established he's not stupid like Bradley. He's not dick dumb. So he's going to use his.
In the comments, we have John Con Thomas. He thinks that it's going to be Chelsea or Jenna out next week. Why would he think that? I think they're definitely building up towards the rivalry, right?
Yeah, but the edits have kind of been a little misleading here lately.
Well, last episode's wasn't.
Well,
they were very clear, Bradley is going to eat shit this next episode. There's no way to hide it.
Yeah.
He's a great big old dick. He needs to go.
Yeah. I just kept thinking they better not be leading me to believe that Bradley's leaving and Malolo fucking loses again. I'm going to lose it.
Oh, okay. I have something to say about Malolo. I was secretly hoping that Malolo would lose because I actually wanted Desiree out more this episode than Bradley.
Why?
Desiree, Bradley was by far the worst player this episode. I put Desiree as the second worst player of the episode. Just because, one, she seemed absolutely just not concerned whatsoever that Michael was looking for an idol. It was so obvious Michael was looking. And Angela, the person who is blindingly loyal to everyone that has a purple buff, is just oh yeah, he's looking for an idol. Should we follow him? And Desiree's nah, just let him go. And it's what are you doing? And oh my god. Yeah,
Angela actually got up and just did a 180 and goes, oh yeah, I guess he is, and then sat back down.
Yeah. But at least she had the brains enough to be concerned by the fact that he was looking for an idol.
And Desiree said, okay, he's hunting for an idol, but it's 3 against 1. And it's yeah. And if he has an idol,
you're
then
screwed.
Yeah. What are you 3 bitches is leaving. Somebody needs to get up and go hunt his ass. I don't care
what he hunts for the idol, you hunt for him. Go Michael hunting.
I told y'all a couple weeks ago, I don't care if you're taking a shit, I'm following you if you're a threat and you're looking for an idol. Allison is following you.
Allison will witness every shit that happens on that motherfucking island.
I will know who's been here looking for an idol. If you took a shit while looking for an idol, I'm going to look at that shit. I'm going to see the droppings, and I'm going to know who it was.
And make sure that there's no idol hidden in the shit either.
Yes, we went through that.
That is the perfect place. That is the perfect place to hide an idol. Is where you take
absolutely what I was.
Yeah. Well, that's where he's gonna. That's what he's gonna have to do to hide that big old fucking necklace.
Oh no, that's Wendell. That's Wendell.
Wendell, God. Wendell's gonna have to like bury it and then shit on top of it.
I mean, that's like I said in the beginning of my 2-minute recap. I was like, where the hell is he gonna hide that thing?
It's like Michael with James's idol. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I want to see him pull it out
of the tree and just pray that nobody looks up and sees it dangling.
I mean, it's not something you can stick up your ass, you know?
Nope.
I mean,
it can't be a crotch idol.
There's enough lube, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Bulge.
Yeah. Can't is not in my vocabulary. Yeah.
Really?
All right, thank you guys so much for letting me be on your show for a little bit. I've got to get ready for my show. I know I added 0 things to the conversation, but
we're honored that you popped in. Thank you.
No, maybe
nice
next
to meet
week.
you,
Yes, of course. Maybe next week I'll jump on. Yeah, love you guys too. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Take care, guys.
All right, see you, McCrae.
Adios.
Oh my God, I like had freaking heart attack. If you guys don't know, that was McCrae from Big Brother.
Wait, the thing is,
Allison's
the funny
trying
thing
to
is,
shit her pants right now that I just had McCrae on a show.
How long did it take you to figure out that McCrae was actually sitting there?
Let me tell you what I thought. Y'all want to hear what I thought?
Yeah, hit us up.
I freaking thought that I accidentally sent I posted the Google Hangout link somewhere in all the little postings that I was doing. And some weirdo got in here. Because I couldn't see him. He was turned, like, I didn't recognize it. It was like freaking me out. And I'm like, I've been hacked. Holy God. Is this Marshall the racist?
Well, you didn't. Did you notice the guy crashing into the door that I posted on Twitter?
I was wondering, I was like, what is she doing?
Door crasher.
Let's say hi to everyone in the chat room. We got Marge, Joy-Con Thomas, Super Ego. I don't think I've seen you in here before. Maybe we will have a random safe merge boot like Jessica last season. Any thoughts on that?
No.
My brain's fried.
This cast is a little bit more traditional in gameplay. I just don't. They're very much like, I would say like middle school gameplay between like season 9, season 16, around that era. Like maybe even so far as like season 20, just because like they're very tribe strong. I definitely think that this tribe will definitely change things with Bradley going. I think this is more significant than people realize, just because Bradley is like the first Navidi that was voted out by other Navidi. Like,
and it might be actually like strategically brilliant for the future, because if Dom and Chelsea are reaching out that olive branch saying, hey, we help Malolo, that can help them. Even though Navidi will have the numbers, they can stay the Navidi numbers, but also use them to plug away at the others, right? So he could have just put himself in a sweet spot for the rest of the game.
Exactly.
You had mentioned, Nate, real quick, Malolo or whatever it's Malolo, right?
Malolo, the new Malolo, yeah.
I keep thinking I'm saying that. Malolo said that they are the worst tribe ever, and you actually are going to correct this for us real quick.
Malolo is not as Malolo low as you would think they would be low. So so I did the math. Malolo is actually the 6th worst tribe in Survivor history. And I looked up, I think I looked up 9 different tribes from past seasons, and just to make sure and do my math, the worst tribe ever is Matt Singh from Survivor Philippines, by far. They never won a single challenge, reward, or immunity. The second worst, which I found surprising because I completely forgot this tribe was so terrible, was Coyopa from season 29, San Juan del Sur. That was the orange buff tribe. They only won 1 immunity as a tribe. And technically they won one reward, but that was a hero challenge that was won by Wes. So I didn't count that as a tribal win. Tied for third is the Brawn Tribe from season 32, Korong, and the Brains Tribe from Cagayan. They had the same amount of challenge wins, and in terms of like what challenges they won, it was the same, I think, here. Fifth worst, Foa Foa from Samoa, 1 immunity and 1 reward win. Let's see here. Sixth worst was Malolo, 1 first place immunity, 1 second place immunity, and 1 first place reward win. Seventh was Saboga from All Stars, 2 rewards that were both. 1 was the second place and 1 first place immunity win. And then eighth worst was Oolong, the tribe to never win an immunity from Palau, and they won because they won 3 rewards. So. Oh.
Yeah, I'm surprised Palau was so far down the list. Okay. Yeah,
because they won 3 rewards. Yeah, I did everything here.
You just like
good job.
At me with some Survivor knowledge. Yeah. I'm impressed.
Okay, can we talk about that steak now?
All right, hold on a second.
I've been waiting all episode.
Before we get on the steak, I got another question.
Yeah.
That big piece of wood that Michael's going to have to hide.
That can go straight up his ass.
That went in his pants. Did you say it was the wood? It was a little stick that the one that
it was a fucking stick.
It was everybody's gonna think that he has wood.
I know. I was like, he's gonna put that in the front of his pants.
when Deb said steak, I thought she was referring to Michael anyway. So
we didn't get to see the grill. We didn't get to see them make the steak. They put more attention on almost killing a goat last year than they did on something that is already dead. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to offend anybody.
We saw Chelsea holding a bone on the beach. There was meat on that bone.
There's a little bit.
I was watching that the whole time.
I was just curious. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to see them make a steak. It's going to be kind of cool. And then nothing. And then we get like a fucking close-up of them eating the kebab. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to see that.
I know, it looked raw. Like, couldn't they cook it a little more? They do have fire. Seriously.
It kind of reminded me of the pig eating challenge from Survivor South Pacific, where Ozzy just ripped that thing off the holster that it was on just with his own mouth. It was crazy.
Well, listen, Super Ego said, watch Chelsea, who we refer to as eyebrows on this show, be the new Michelle, but even more useless and boring and still win the game.
Michelle had a better edit.
And he wrote no hate to her personally after fucking shredding her. No hate, but this girl's garbage.
No hate.
Michelle is not as bad as people think. I support Michelle. I don't think she's the best winner ever, but she is not as bad as people think she is. So
which one is Michelle again?
Michelle Fitzgerald?
Yeah.
When does she
beat Aubrey?
So she beat Aubrey, yeah. Okay. And Aubrey will never live it down because Aubrey brings it up every single moment she can. So
she should.
Wait, like here's the thing. Aubrey, it's the fact of the matter is you need the jury to feel comfortable with you winning. And if you cannot convince the jury to be comfortable with you winning the money, you don't deserve to win. Aubrey could not do that. Michelle did, and that's what won Michelle the game. Yes, Michelle got lucky with a very useful power to take out Neil, but like from the jury. But regardless, Michelle, I think, definitely deserved it over Aubrey. So that's my argument.
I disagree.
Yeah, well,
Aubrey's fucking queen.
At least she's not Ben.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have our first fist fight on my way to Meltdown?
Damn it.
Ben is the
listen, I got a lot of pen banger. You want to fight?
Yeah, Debbie's ready to go this week. Okay.
I'm sorry. You can't. He's like the fact that if you can make if you can make Mike look like a deserving winner, Ben.
Are we talking Mike Holloway?
Yes.
But he was a fucking deserving winner.
But here's my thing about Michelle winning, right? Like if she had such a good social game and it wasn't actually just like Jason and Scott behind the scenes choosing the winner, right? Like let's just say that. Then they would have shown that the way they showed like Jonathan Penner making social moves, right? Like when he made Lisa cry. Like they have shown social moves. Like, hey, look at this person using social skills to do what they need to do in the game. They never really showed that with Michelle. So that'd be my argument, kind of.
It was shown through Julia, to be more accurate.
Yeah, because she voted out her closest ally, and her closest ally forgave her.
And Julia, I'm sure, like, definitely stuck up for her. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, I have a question. So Kellen went to Ghost Island, and she got the authentic steal a vote from Game Changers, but it's not a steal; it's an extra vote.
Yeah.
Then how is it a steal?
Well, like they said, all these advantages they've been on Ghost Island ever since they were used, and they're growing into other things. Like all of a sudden, Survivor's turning into Lost. I'm very excited about this.
Where's that mist?
I want someone getting blindsided by that smoke monster. That'd be sick.
They've had how many people like completely misuse a double vote, and like or just not play a double vote, and like they use the Michaela one, which was originally a steal a vote, to be a double vote. And it's like, you had freaking, like, you had Lauren from last season who should have used her double vote. You had, what's his face? Dan, although I can argue why Dan wasn't showcased in Ghost Island. Like, I think they just want to forget him. And then they had Stephen Fishback, who also misplayed his double vote and probably should have played the tribal before. So it's, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think it's not going to be used properly. It's just, how do you predict it, right? You need to be able to predict the numbers exactly to use your double vote correctly.
Yeah, a steal a vote is always going to be better than a double vote, just because, like, if you're looking at it from game theory terms, like, it's like you're just like plus one-ing your side, but if you have a steal a vote, you're negging your opponent while like negatively affecting your opponent, while also positively affecting yourself.
Yeah.
So it's just, I wish steal a votes were more prevalent, because I feel like they're just incredibly more interesting. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love Michael found the authentic fake idol. Yeah. And that Ozzy used. But here's the thing. They kept saying this over and over again, and this is plaguing me a little bit. It has been sitting on this island for 10 years or such and such.
And it's matured.
And this and that. And I'm like, so are we finally just going with Survivor has been using the same fucking island for 20 years and we're just not finding out about it? Or did they just, like, for budget purposes go, you know what? We like this island a lot better than the other islands, so we're just going to use this island for the next 10 years and just up the game. I mean, seriously, they've even said, yeah, we were here like I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about yeah, we were on that island, and that's where I left this, and it was very nostalgic to see that. And I'm like, so how long has this ruse been going on?
Well, no, they've been in Fiji for the past few seasons, and then they're going back again next year. So
maybe they get a discount.
Well, Jeff said that this is, like, in multiple interviews, that this is his favorite location he's ever been to, just because the locals are very easy to work with. The government's very easy to work with in terms of getting approval to actually film there. It's just really convenient, and it's really easy to work through.
It seems like the weather is very agreeable too.
Yeah.
We haven't had any life-threatening storms lately.
Yeah.
And no one's been helicoptered out, right? So we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I know. I want someone helicoptered out. Let me go on a tangent real quick.
Philippines is still one of my favorite locations. Like, it just felt right. You know?
Philippines?
Yeah.
The Philippines?
Karamoan and Korong, both of them.
So they've been there more than
Cambodia. It was Cambodia. Korong's in Cambodia.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. Cambodia and Philippines are my favorites.
Here's the thing. In season 1 of Survivor, that chick with the dark, short hair, the cute girl, I can't remember her name, had maggots living in her freaking kneecaps. Oh. Okay? She was that cut up. There were maggots in her legs.
Wait, which season was this?
Season 1. And
I don't remember.
She had to tough it out. She had to, they didn't nothing. Now, if you cut your pinky and it's infected, they're med vacuuming people off the island. If you got a boil on your butt, they are med vacuuming everyone out. Colleen, thank you, Mars. Yeah, it was Colleen. She actually was bitching about, all this stuff, but she had maggots.
I don't remember that.
In her leg.
Ew.
But like, yeah, old school
Yeah, I don't remember that
Survivor,
either.
people got injured a lot more, and like they had a lot less to eat, right? Well, that's my biggest gripe of the new school Survivor is they're eating way too much.
That is false.
Really?
That is completely false. Yes.
Hit me. Why?
Okay. So first of all, older Survivor was easier, and I'm surprised that you brought that up because I sent you a 3-page paper about this, Cliff, about how Survivor's gotten harder.
Oh, you think I read the whole thing? That's wonderful.
So first of all, they used to give instead of flint, which actually takes skill to use, they used to give them matches at the beginning of the season, 50 of them, and then they would give them more later along with fire making kit. On top of that, they used to let them choose whatever clothing they want. So like if you go back to like the first few seasons, you see them wearing like workout gear and like windbreakers, sunglasses, hats, everything they possibly can. They're told what to wear now. Like Cochran, he never wore a sweater vest before ever going on Survivor. He was told to wear that. No one would wear a sweater vest onto a tropical island. Who's stupid enough to do that?
Okay, and that's why Purple Kelly eventually quit because she didn't have good clothing.
Exactly. And and this season they're given half the rice. And if you remember back to the first challenge, like they had to like fight for like actual ways to get food.
Yeah, this season I think is better, but previous seasons, like the last couple years, they've been having like fucking feasts and shit.
Oh well, they've been giving them sugary foods. They haven't been giving them meat. That's the thing.
Okay.
Sugar is completely different than meat. Meat will actually keep you sustained. Sugar won't. It'll give you like a little boost for maybe like an hour or two, and then you'll crash. It'll actually make you worse.
Sugar doesn't keep you sustained?
In terms
what have I been doing all these years?
I'm telling you.
I just figured out my issue.
Trying to survive, I would take a steak over a donut.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they didn't have water wells in old school Survivor. Like they literally were thirsty. They didn't have water and they had to boil. Like seriously, they didn't have the water wells that they do now.
I think Fiji was the only one where they didn't have a water well.
But I think I remember like really early on they didn't have that, right? Or am I wrong?
I think you're wrong about that.
I probably need to stop giving counterpoints on shit that I don't know anything about.
I just got myself in that same web.
Yeah, because I remember Fiji, they were literally drinking like, oh no, they did have a well, but they couldn't like drink it because it was the most polluted well they ever had. It was the rich camp versus poor camp on that season.
Did someone shit in the well?
No, they couldn't make fire, so they were literally drinking rainwater from leaves because they had no flint, they had nothing to make it with, and everything was so damp that they couldn't do anything to make it with. That was Yowman and Earl's original tribe.
No, Deborah, that was Cody from Stranded on an Island with $1 million fucking dollars, where he was shitting in every water supply possible on command. Never seen anything like it.
Is that a strategy or just like bored?
He wanted to poison people with his fecal. Okay. It was fecal
Let's get
poison.
this guy a Survivor.
At least we don't have like Max Dawson like putting his gross feet into like a water pot where everybody eats and drinks from. Like, come on.
God.
I remember that. I remember that.
Jacob putting those sock. What did he put the rice in?
Yeah.
The right. Oh God.
Still gagging over that.
Oh, and Tarzan putting his shitty underwear right into the boiling water so it can get clean.
Oh,
It's like,
that guy.
I swear that's not poop. It's dirt. It's like no, that's dirt. It's a clean line right down the middle.
It's like you don't have toilet paper. It's poop.
You know what it is. Well, geez, last year some girl they spit. Okay, you want to talk about the steak not getting airtime? This got more airtime than the steak. I can't remember who it was, but last year some chick took a dump in the water, and she was talking about how proud she was that she spewed in the water.
Simone. I referred to that. They're her aqua dumps.
Her aqua dump. An aqua dump got more time than the steak did.
No, any time that you poop in the water and it's brought up as like conversation, it makes airtime. Because that happened in like Wrong when what's his name?
Darnell. Yeah.
Darnell right in front of everybody.
Yeah, like we can see your ass. And
now, honest question: have you guys ever done an aqua dump before?
I have.
No.
I have. And
it's not fun.
Very scary because I thought minnows would go up my butt. Like I was very nervous the whole time.
Does it count when the toilet water splashes back up?
That's like training.
Okay, so training. Then I've had a mini aqua dump.
That's a discount bidet.
Yes,
Discount bidet. I'm gonna wake my baby. Don't do that. Super Ego wants to know what we thought of the pre-merge overall. Did you guys like it? I thought it was really good.
Oh, this has been the best pre-merge since I think like for a while, honestly. Like one of my like things that I think Survivors needed is just like a good like either tribe versus tribe mentality or like a villain versus hero, because we haven't had that. With like I think the closest that we've had to that mentality overall is like I don't count season 30 because I like to forget that season, but season 29 is like I think that's the closest, but there was no justification for why Missy was a villain, because we just heard like Reed screeching that she was the villain all season, but no like actual proof. So it was like we haven't had that. No villain, nothing. So we it's a great fresh like.
But even though Malolo isn't the most losing tribe, I think because of Jacob's narrative that we are the best tribe ever on Survivor, and he said that publicly in front of everyone, I think that's guiding this whole story, this whole season, this whole pre-merge. I think the arc is thanks to Jacob, the weirdo.
He jinxed it. He cursed Malolo.
He was on Malolo? Yeah. Was he on Malolo? Oh, so he just aqua dumped all over that tribe and cursed them. Yeah, that's bad. Bless his heart. If you ever want to come on the show, Jacob, we love you. We're not taking an aqua dump on you.
I felt so bad for Jacob. He wanted to be there so bad.
I know.
More so for Stephanie.
So bad.
Yeah. Stephanie was smart. She was a good player and a super fan. But Jacob, I feel for him. That was me on Sequester, and I'd like to forget about that too.
Or don't even get me started. If anybody want, all four of us are Sequester alumni. Where Sequester people go to die. They come on my show.
Me and Dev went out one after another. So
you've hit rock bottom if you're on this show.
And then I met Albie on my season. That was great.
Oh God!
Exciting.
Albie's cool outside of Sequester. He's actually pretty chill, but
no, it's not.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Okay. We're before we get each other in trouble. Let's just move on.
So let's see what we've got. Mars said in the chat, after Kayla be back, recent Survivor caskets provided with nice water bottles. I guess the cantina or whatever that they carry now. They haven't always had that. Mm-mm. They haven't always had that. Let's see.
Well, I think there's a lot of complaints when Kayla was digging through the sand that they were like, why would they do that in that heat? So I think since then there's been precautions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're given, first of all, they are given a lot of sunscreen. Like that, like they do get like a box like off like camera off site where they get like sunscreen. They get like a book of edible plants, which Chef Probst has said on record that nobody opens. And they get like women's products. They get condoms in there, which they said a few survivors have used. And
really?
Yes.
There's one going to get a hard on.
There's one specific married couple that spent a lot of time alone together on Blood versus Water.
Who is it? Who is it?
Candace and Cody.
Who?
Huh? Not Cody. Candace and John.
Really?
Really?
They're married. They were married while they were alone.
But who's doing
married? They can
give up privacy. They weren't filmed the entire time. They were on Redemption Island.
I was on the island for my honeymoon and I wasn't in the mood, you know? Like,
yeah.
Come on.
I'm never in the mood.
You smell. Like who's gonna
Suri. There's no toothpaste.
Oh yeah. Like
yeah.
It sounds like Jungle Love.
Oh.
I don't know. It's just like
disclaimer. I actually don't know if that's real. That's just me just messing with you guys. But
and the thing is,
because I'm taking that as fact. I'm like, what?
No, I have no confirmation whatsoever.
So you're just pulling this out of your ass?
Yeah.
And the thing is,
I just know that they have condoms. They do supply them with condoms, and they give them, of all things, they give them the most pivotal like survival like thing. It's what's it called it's fluid for contact fluid. They give them contact fluid. Why?
Like contact lens solution?
Yes, yeah.
I freaking wear contacts and glasses. I'm not wearing my contact. You can't get an eyelash in your eye and not feel like you want to died.
The only person that should have probably used that is Shamar. He's the only person that should have probably used contact.
I'm surprised people haven't used the condoms more strategically. Like me, I don't like touching sticky stuff and whatnot, so I put one on every finger and use them as gloves. Right? Just use them as gloves.
They're not allowed to use them for other uses other than their intended use because who was it? Big Tom, he used what's it called? He used one of the women's products as toilet paper. So
that's a good idea.
And he got in trouble for it. So
let me tell you something. If you're giving me a book of plants that are poison and you can eat and not eat and touch and not touch, I'm not really going to look at it for eating purposes. It's more for wiping my ass. I don't want to wipe my butt with something worse than poison ivy.
Yes.
You understand? I like my butthole the way it is. I want to keep it in the condition in which I am accustomed.
That's why you aqua dump. It's clean. No mess.
It is clean.
No fuss. It's nice.
Not
I'll look into that next time when my mom opens the pool.
I just remembered another aqua dump story. Dan losing his underwear.
What season was that? What?
That was season 30, the season I'd like to forget. But he lost his underwear, or it was either his underwear or his shorts. While he was taking a dump in a lagoon, and the tide swept it out from out.
What do you do? What do you do if you?
Apparently, he had to call for someone, like one of the other contestants, to bring him his either his swimsuit or something, because he had nothing else on.
Imagine being the person that has to walk up to that site.
It was probably Mike. Let's be real.
Dan is probably one of my least favorite Survivor contestants.
Will is my least favorite Survivor contestant.
Will more than Dan?
Like, Dan is just obnoxious. Will is a horrible human being.
Yeah. Okay, I'd have to rewatch the Shireen episode, but I do remember him being pretty awful in it.
Yeah. Joey Contant. Yeah, it was asking in the chat, who's your least favorite Survivor contestant? I don't know.
My least three favorite contestants are all from Worlds Apart. All three of them.
Is that season 30?
That's season 30. That is.
Okay, wait. Let me guess who the third is. So Dan and Will are 2, right?
Yes. Yeah, 1 and 2 respectively. Yeah.
Mike?
No,
really?
it's Max Dawson.
Really?
Yes.
Why, just because he's pretentious?
Extremely pretentious. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like the Survivor professor doesn't make it past 2 tribals because he doesn't get other people. And then
I wasn't sure why he was on the second chance ballot when I would take anyone from like Fiji or Guatemala. Like I'd rather see Dreams or even Eduardo or Brian Corden or something over someone like Max Dawson, right? Mm-hmm. Even Tyler Fredrickson, if you were to take a World Apart person, I'd rather see him again.
Ian Rosenberger deserve that spot
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Or Rafe. We need original Guatemala. Like
I don't think it's ever going to happen.
You guys have to admit that the worst horrible person that's ever been on Survivor is Michael Skupin.
Yeah.
After the fact.
Yeah. Wow. I
totally
forgot about that.
Do you know who pushed him into the fire?
Who?
Karma.
Yeah.
He was pushed.
Remember how much of that was such a big deal back then, because back then, the internet and everything, social, is not like it is now. Yeah. And so you literally had to wait until next week to see the skin coming off his fucking hands and all of that stuff. Like, oh my God, he fell in the fire and burned his face. And it was like, oh my God.
I think it was because after season 1, people were saying, oh, Survivor's not real. And then they're like, oh, wait till you see this.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to
get a lot of this.
Who can we get to actually do something that will really fuck them up, and just so we can prove that this is real? Skupin, come here. Look, we're going to do a separate check.
Look, there's an idol in the fire. Just
pretend like
look closer.
There's a naked teenage boy in the fire, Skupin.
I was gonna make the joke, and I'm just like, I shouldn't make the joke, and Allison.
She went for it.
She went for it.
That's why I'm here. And I don't condone it. Before anyone comes at me for my tasteless sense of humor, get over it. You're watching. If you've made it this far with me, why are you in a bitch now? Trust me. We talked about dicks, poop, steaks, wiping your ass with maxi pads. We are all over the place.
My argument is if Beast Goat Cowboy, if they're willing to evacuate Go Cowboy, like it's pretty real because he was a big selling point for that season.
Yeah.
Like
It took him months to recover. I listened to a podcast he was on, and it literally took him almost 6 months to recover. It was that bad.
Yeah, he couldn't be out in the sun and stuff. Yeah, it was crazy. The fact that he, like, first of all, he should not have been brought back for Game Changers. That was the incorrect season for him because I actually think he's better at Survivor than he is at Big Brother. It's just like he was just brought back for the wrong season.
Oh, guess who I've heard is rumored to want to be on Survivor?
Who?
Mark from Big Brother 19.
Oh, yeah.
From Marlena? Mark and Marlena?
Yeah.
Are they still together?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they moved in together.
Oh, I'm happy for him.
They bought a
He showed
house
some
in
signs of
Texas.
game.
Yeah.
I just signs of game.
Yeah.
I can usually say green tutu and people already, because when he got in the fight with Josh, he was wearing the ballerina neon green tutu.
Mark,
someone
I like Mark. I'm okay with him being in Survivor.
I can absolutely see that.
I get nervous about guys that are that big going on Survivor because even like Chris was saying how much food he needs being that muscly, right?
And typically big guys like that don't do well. So
no, they gas out, right?
Yeah.
They either gas out or like they are taken out way too early. Like you see like Cliff, what's his face from Micronesia, the firefighter? Joel, yeah, he got taken out way too early. James he's been a pre-merge boot and he's been targeted so many times. So it's like big guys just don't do well in Survivor.
Hey, did you guys sorry, going back to this episode for a second, I was trying to figure out who said it because I was on a different screen when it was said. Someone accidentally called Michael James. Who was that?
That was Angela.
That
was
my name's Michael.
That was such an underrated, hilarious moment in the episode tonight.
I think I wrote that down and I just forgot about it.
I just thought of it. I was like, that was so funny, but I didn't know who said it. It was Angela, eh?
Angela.
And he said it twice. My name's Michael. Michael. That was Michael.
You've been voting out all my friends. Remember me, Michael?
Wrong name down, Angela.
Angela's still better than Desiree, in my opinion.
Angela's been voting been wondering why Michael is still there when she's been voting him out for 3 weeks.
No, that's why she hasn't written his name down. She doesn't know his fucking name.
She doesn't know who he is.
She has no idea who the guy is. That's how he's going to win the game. No one knows his name.
No one knows him.
It's Michael. Okay, Michael.
Oh, I just want to say props to Wendell for looking for the idol while everybody was in a food coma.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good. I've never thought of that.
This is a good episode for Wendell.
It's been a good episode every episode for Wendell except for the even the Morgan boot. He still wasn't like people were like, yeah, Wendell's dangerous, but I'd rather get rid of Morgan. Like he's like literally I think he's like hands down the best individual player. I'm just scared for him because I can see him getting 4th place very easily.
He's going to team up with Dominic at Merge, though, right? Like, they could dominate together.
It looks like he wants to swing to Sebastian because he thinks he can trust Sebastian more. So it's like
bridge, though. He might be able to bridge.
That's true. That is very true. But it's like he doesn't seem like he's necessarily like completely in with everyone. He just kind of seems like he's close to people, but he's not everyone's number one. And he just seems expendable. I don't know. That's just my point of view with Wendell.
Well, now that he's got an idol, he might give himself some game clout.
Oh, but he kind of seems like a Kelly Wentworth type of player this season, you know?
Potentially.
Yeah. Don't know how he's gonna hide that frickin' idol. I'm stuck on that. I can't get off of it.
Do you remember Kelly Wentworth's idol? That was the first like big idol, other than like James.
Where did she hide it?
Like Kelly had a plate. She had a dinner plate.
Yeah. Where did she hide it?
Yeah,
like, how do you hide that? They're digging through bags this season, man.
Yeah.
They're all up in your stuff.
I don't understand why people are so pissed at Desiree for doing that. I'm sorry. Like, if you think someone has an idol and they're stupid enough to hide it in their bag, look through their goddamn bag. Like, I'm sorry. They're like,
I don't
you
have
were
an
there to
issue
win $1
with her
million.
doing that either. I agree. Look, it's fair game. You're on Survivor. Yeah. People are going to dig and look through stuff. Yeah. I mean, that's just the way it is. Put it in your pants, especially if it's a big piece of wood, like Michael did.
I like the Adam Klein strategy, right? 1 second, Jeff pulls out the stank idol, just covered in juices.
Or Tyson, like no one's gonna notice that the bulge looks any different.
I love Tyson, man. Oh my God, I love him. Well, we got to wrap up here soon. So Nate, we've all established who we think is gonna win. I've said since episode 1, I think Wendell is gonna win, or at least make it to final 2. So who do you think will be in the, like, who do you pick to win, and who would be your final 2?
This is a controversial pick. I realize this, but I think Kellen's gonna win.
Okay.
I think Kellen is a safe choice because, one, Jeff Probst did not hype up the season in terms of characters because he usually does that when a guy wins. So like he does, like, Jeff Probst likes male winners. That's just how it's always been. He especially likes macho male winners. And the fact that he hasn't really been focusing on the cast and just the overall twist, that leads me to believe that a woman does win. Kellen hasn't necessarily been in control, but she's still getting an edit. Like, even when Bradley was completely controlling the tribe, like earlier in the season, she was still being noticed. So it was like, I think Kellen's getting a winner's edit right now, and I think she's a safe pick to win.
And who do you think would be sitting next to her that they would pick Kellen over?
I think now that Angela, I think Angela's a safe choice for the 3rd place goat. I think I can see. Yeah.
Well, probably Dez, right? She's close with Dez. Yeah. And Dez has been getting a lot of screen time.
Yes. Yeah. I think Dez is likely. However, I think Desiree is going to get blindsided at some point. I think the runner-up, I think it's hard to determine the runner-up because I can see it being Wendell as well, even though I said he would be 4th earlier. I can see Donathan being 2nd.
Yeah, he could pull a tie, kind of, right?
Yeah. I think 1st and 2nd and 3rd place, my prediction is going to be Kellen, Donathan, and Angela, final 3.
I could see Donathan making it to a final 3. Yeah, I could see that.
That's so different than what I thought was going to happen. I think Michael's going to win. And I think he's getting there with, like, Sebastian and some combination of Wendell and Dominic.
Yeah. I think Michael's going to
be a bromance. Yeah. You think he's going to burn out?
I think he's going to burn out. Like, he's getting
such a big edit for being such a young guy, right?
He's getting a big edit, and that's exactly what's scaring me.
That's so hot, though, for an 18-year-old. I love it. I would put him in his ass. I don't care. But here's the thing. If Michael wins Survivor, I hope he whips out his high school diploma and goes, "Look, bitches, the ink didn't even dry yet." And I outwitted, outplayed, and outsmarted all y'all. You know? And then throw in, "I'm a virgin," and then everyone will just go crazy.
Just mic drop. And I'm a virgin. Jeff, get the condoms. Let's go.
Yeah.
Obviously,
someone needs to teach these kids the proper usage of condoms. They don't go in your nose, okay?
Oh,
these goddamn Gen Zs, man.
Snorting condoms. Yes.
Wait. Is that an actual thing?
That is an actual thing.
Cliff.
Yes. Generation Z is the generation after millennials. They're the ones in high school up until maybe 1920. So I missed the cut, thank God.
Wait, what are they doing? They're just snorting condoms?
Yes.
And pulling them out of their mouth.
They're doing that weird string trick the magicians do.
Oh, that's like what comedians used to do. And like when I first started stand-up comedy, that was one of the first acts I ever saw. A guy did a condom through his nose into his mouth, and then he took off all his clothes, did a mangina, and sat an audience member. Yeah. That was one of the first shows I've ever seen. Would not hold up in 2018.
Well, here's the
wait. A mangina? What?
Yeah, when you tuck your junk underneath, and it looks like a vagina, and then you turn around and it looks like Mickey Mouse. You guys know.
I thought that was a moose knuckle.
I do it all the time.
You tuck in your penis, Alice?
I thought a moose knuckle was like when you had on, you're a dude and you had on tight pants. And
yeah, it's the Canadian camel toe is the moose knuckle, right?
Moose knuckle. Okay.
Come on, guys.
Oh, on that note, manginas, moose knuckles, and steaks, and all kinds of shit tonight. And McCrae.
Oh my god.
and moose knuckles, and manginas, and McCrae.
Tonight's show, hashtag moose knuckles and McCrae.
All right, that's the best hashtag I've ever heard.
We're just gonna hashtag that for no reason. Moose knuckles and McCrae, and not the word. And,
I'm sure he'll love that.
And sign. And we're gonna like tag the fuck out of him, and he's like gonna be like, what?
McCrae just pops on like, what'd you say about moose knuckles?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. That is so funny.
Oh my god.
I'm crying.
Did someone just snort?
My stomach hurts.
I'm crying.
What happened to natural snore?
Oh man.
So, thank everyone for watching. I'm gonna piss. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh no! 20 minutes of laughing. I can't stop.
My face is beat fucking red right now.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Snap out of it.
No, we're not okay. Joy-Con Thomas is checking on us. No. We've hit rock bottom tonight, and no one's drunk. We're all not on drugs. There's nothing. This is just McCrae's and moose knuckles and McCrae's.
Oh,
my god. I love McCrae. He's the best.
We've got Mars in the chat room said, wrong show, but you guys need to get fellow Sequester alumni Hamza from BB Can on the show.
Sure.
I've never met Hamza, so I'd love to meet him.
Working on it. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I want to thank everyone for watching. I'm in pain right now.
Oh, my
I'm trying not to pee myself and laughing really hard. So, what was that? I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat. I just want to thank you, Joy-Con Thomas, Mars, Super Ego, everybody. Do what?
Maria, she's there.
Oh, and Maria.
Hi, Maria.
And
my first Sequester Alliance member.
Bruno.
And McCrae was on Big Brother 16?
15.
Or 15. So McCrae from Big Brother 15 came in and made a cameo for about 10 minutes, and we thank him. Thank you so much for popping in. It was our first celebrity guest from the reality world.
Did Deb not come last week?
No. We're working on that. I don't know if that. She's probably just gonna pop in. I mean,
just like McCrae, just walk on in.
Yep.
Pop in.
Door crasher. I thought it would be fun to like have a door crasher. Nobody's expecting anybody. So I was like, yeah, just crash it.
Don't tell it. Yeah, just do that from now on because that works for me. Tell them they don't even have to stay the whole show. They can come on for 15 minutes and we'll all just nerd out on them and then leave.
Better gate crashers than BB Can.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So we've got, thank you so much for watching tonight. Everyone who supports us, please subscribe to my weekly meltdown on YouTube. And please like my weekly meltdown on Facebook. I've accumulated 1 new like on Facebook in the last month. I'm so excited. We're going to go around and tell how people can stalk you in social media if you want to be stalked. I am on Instagram at the.memphis.darling and on Twitter at Summers, SOMMERS 1977, or just stalk me on Facebook and send me a friend request. That's what everybody else does. Do that and go around Cliff, we'll start with you. How can people contact you?
On social media, it's my name, Clifford, like the big red dog, Myers, like the serial killer. And if you hit me up on YouTube, I have some mock Big Brother and Survivor audition tapes I did recently, and you guys should watch that because they're funny.
Yeah. And Deb?
That's it for me.
Deb?
Where'd she go?
Deb, I got this. Deb, you can find Deb on Twitter at MyNextLifeDebbie, and that's DEBI. That's how you can find Debbie. Okay? Nate, go ahead.
Okay. You can find me on Twitter at Hatzmania, HATZ Mania. And then also I host a game called The System. And we do episodes. So next episode is going up on Sunday. So definitely check that out. The season has been an absolute blast so far. We do have a couple Sequester alum on this season. So if you watch Sequester, you might see some favorites. So yeah, definitely check that out.
How can they find that?
They can find that. My name, Nate Rosansky. You can just, if you type in Nate Rosansky, The System, you'll see like a green logo with like yellow symbols on it. That's our logo for the season. And we just started jury in our in the game. So yeah, definitely check it out. And we're casting next month actually. So just gonna put that out there.
Cool. All right. Well, everybody stalk us. We enjoy it. We love it. And hi, Matt in the chat. Matt Ellis in the chat room. Oh my God, he's my coworker. Poor man, Matt Ellis has to listen to me run my mouth in the office all day, and it is somebody is always pissing me off before 8 o'clock. Mars is like, whatever McCrae was smoking must have leaked into your rooms. Oh no, Moose Knuckles and McCrae. Anyway, so, okay. Nate, I'm going to stop the broadcast. You don't have to hang up. This is just turning the live part off. So, you know, that was so professional. Anyway, so guys, if you watch Big Brother Canada, we will be live this Saturday at 2/1 Central. Me, Deb, and maybe we'll get Tyler back. Tyler's pretty drunk. He might be fall out drunk. We're still recovering on Saturday from the text messages I got. And we might have a very, very special guest. And then we'll be back next Wednesday. And a lot of people have asked me, are we going to cover Big Brother 20? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're covering Big Brother 20. I'm already all over Big Brother 20 because nobody's calling my ass back. Okay. And I promise, if I don't make it on Big Brother 20 this year, I will post my audition video for the world to see.
Oh, and by the way, huge mistake, production, huge mistake.
Not
call her.
Yes, not casting me. It's been 18 years. I know you guys think that I'm freaking bipolar and have multiple personality disorder because I'm like a different person in every damn video. So just whatever. I'm just going to put my cat in front of the camera for 3 minutes and maybe that'll get me on Big Brother 20. I don't know. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you Saturday if you watch Big Brother Can, or we'll see you next Wednesday, or we'll never see you again because we pissed you off that much. And okay, love you guys. And remember, hashtag Moose Knuckles and McCrae.